Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Whether you are a newbie or you've been with me throughout the duration of this channel, I appreciate your presence regardless. So, the way that I am channeling light codes has changed just a tad. So, we're going to switch things up a bit. This is for life path 3, 6, 9, and 11. These are all odd numbers, I should say, and a lot of them break down into themselves. So this is going to be like kind of a little lesson to go over the basics of the numbers and kind of give you an idea of what they mean when you see them. So the light code that's standing out to me, or stood out to me this morning when I was meditating on them, was the light code 911, and this is a representation of a wake-up call. You also know that within the matrix, 911 is what you call when there is an emergency. So when your spirit team or when your spirit guides need you to wake up and see something expeditiously, you feel me? So let's break that down. The 9 is the master number of the mind plane. Here's a visual for you here. So to me it's backwards, but to y'all I think it's correct. So do you see how it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9 is that last number before you start doubling, right? So that's the master number of the mind plane. So renewal of the mind, a mental upgrade, new ways of thinking, and innovation, which is stepping outside of the box, thinking and being able to move based off of your thinking in a new way. Also, when you're breaking down 9 is broken down into 3 twice. So 3 is the entrance of the mind plane. 3 is a realization of what needs to shift within your mind. So also seeing 111, which is also 3, could represent you needing to pay attention to your thoughts. They are manifesting quickly, and in order for you to manifest the things that you actually want instead of don't want, you need to shift your mindset into mostly thinking about the things that you actually want. Meditation is also noted here with the number 3. 3 is also the number of ascended masters. So for some of you, awakening to your psychic and spiritual abilities to be able to commune and channel messages from higher beings. Also, it says information being passed down. So the information of the ascended masters and teaching some of their ways is also being highlighted here. It says enlightenment that leads to a higher level of consciousness. So 3 and 3 is 6, and 6 is the creative link between the 3 and the 9. So we're all talking about the mind plane at the top, not this way, but this way. 3, 6, 9. So if you're seeing 3, 6, 9, this could also be an indication of what is mean for you right now. 3, 6, 9 is that pyramid that you can add to each side. So you all know that there's 3 sides to a pyramid. So 3 times 3 is that 9. Again, you are building and leveling up within your pyramid, within your own sacred frequency. So 3, 6, 9, 3 being the more, so you're dealing with the left and the right brain. 9 being the creative side, which is the right brain. More idealism, the dreamer side of the brain. If you ever seen those pictures that's depicted, you will have a brain, but one side is black and white, but the other one is very colorful. So the 9 is the one where we're talking about, it's colorful. The 3 is the side that we are really programmed to operate out of, especially if you went through the school system. You are programmed to look at things very logically instead of being a dreamer or being very optimistic. So there's an indication of a balancing of the left and the right brains also. So life path 6 or seeing 6s can represent a realization of your lower selves. We'll be here taming the beast or understanding your lower self and becoming one with it, not in separation, because we understand that that primal nature is important still, because we are still within a beast system. So you still need to be in tune with it, but it's learning and understanding when it's time to express that side of yourself, and when it's time for you to be more creative and intuitive and more, and a balancing in the masculine and feminine energy is here, is what I'm picking up on as well. And with the sixth energy, what I was picking up on, or the zodiac signs that I was picking up on, was the fixed signs, Scorpio and Taurus, representing your sacral chakra, that sensuality and that creative energy. Being reawakened to something, or remembering life is meant to be lived, and the connection of living and experiencing the ease of life as well. So understanding that always being on go and in your masculine energy is counterproductive to spirituality in a sense, because it's all about your spirit and how it connects. And if you are not in tune with your spirit and you're always on go trying to figure out, okay, what's the next move, which is more masculine energy, I just heard burnout. Eventually you get burned out, and you also won't be able to connect as easy. So we're gonna get into the two energy. Not quite yet. Not quite yet, but it's coming. The connection between living and experiencing. And if you are always thinking about how you're going to live, like how you're going to be provided for and taken care of, it takes away from you being able to actually just experience and live. Your mind is always going to be somewhere else in another space instead of being present and living in the moment. So 111, connecting to 3, watching your thoughts, making sure that you are balancing between the left and the right brain, but also your higher and your lower self, but also your feminine and masculine energy, and understanding within your own vessel when to be in either one of those, and how not to put yourself in a burnout, how not to be so stuck in the mind plane with the 369 and having headaches and pressure and stuff, and just feeling foggy as a whole. So mutable signs, no, fixed signs, which is the other two, Aquarius and Leo. So if you know, Aquarius rules circulation, that is the water barrier. And if you know, everything within life requires water. Also, water is one of the elements that is most adaptable. It could be a liquid, it could be a solid, it could be an air. It can shift into all of these. So essentially going with the flow, not being so controlling, and also as well not, how can I put it, having a certain way of how something should show up in your life, and not allowing space and opportunity for it to show up in a more profound way, or in a way that is going to benefit you for your highest good. Leo energy rules your heart, and you see how they go hand in hand, basically. Without one or the other, circulation wouldn't be able to be pumped through your veins. But also the heart is what pumps the blood through the veins. So they go hand in hand. But we're going to break down Taurus and Scorpio energy. Taurus is ruled by the throat, or it rules the throat. So throat chakra, blue. So seeing blue, or being connected to blue, or your favorite color being blue, speaking your truth. The color blue is also connected to peace and tranquility, which we're talking about essentially having peace of mind and being able to strategize out of situations where you are set up to fail, basically. It also rules the ears and the tonsils, so not just your throat chakra, but it's connecting here, here, and here. Also, that's where your nerves, where you can rub behind your ears and calm your nerves. That's why they rub behind their ears and say woosah. Yeah. So Connecting also your fifth, your sixth, and your seventh chakra. That's where that opening begins when you begin to speak your truth. That's also how you open up to the color blue is connected to Archangel Michael. And so in order for you to be able to commune with higher beings, you have to connect to your higher self, which starts at your throat chakra. So when you begin to speak your truth, you also begin to hear truth. Your nervous system, again, stepping back into the Aquarius energy. We're navigating fixed energy here. Stepping back into the circulation and being able to calm your nerves, calm your mind in order to receive information on how to get yourself out of those perceived obstacles. So fifth, sixth, seventh chakra. Communicating with ascended masters, because remember the three is ascended masters, angels, and even for those of you who have extraterrestrial within your bloodline, connecting back to them as well. Scorpio energies, your reproductive organs. Also the Pluto and Scorpio generation, shout out to us. If you was born in 1983 through 1995, you are a part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation, where sexual liberation was what we came here to crusade, and equality for all peoples. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. That was our generation. We fucking did that. Shout out to us. But again, that Scorpio energy in our generation and connecting to that sacred chakra of sensuality and creativity. If you notice, Pluto and Scorpio generation was the generation that brought that innovation when it comes to entrepreneurship and really breaking or trailblazing to break free of the patriarchal system or the beast system that we know today. And next, after that, Gen Z, they kind of like took the torch and was like, hell yeah, we fuck with this. So just to give you an idea of the build up and what's going on, not just within your physical body, but how it is reflected out into the world right now. But also, recuperative process is also ruled by Taurus. So you wonder why Tauruses are always somewhere taking a nap? It's because they're healing, boo. You heal quicker when you are sleeping because your ego is not in the way, and it's easier to penetrate certain points within your body. And I also would like to throw in a plug of subliminal messages when you're sleeping, especially when you're trying to reprogram your mind to shift out of old ways of thinking. Doing so while you sleep can speed up the process tremendously. Just throwing that out there. Also, one more thing, Scorpio rules your colon and your bladder. So please, you guys, drink water. As you begin to awaken and you begin to ascend and you're taking all this information, you're detoxing all of these things out of your body. Water, water, water. Drinking water, taking a bath in water, but just also finding time to go by a body of water and sit and allow the flow to wash out your chakras and let go of limited thinking, and also step into that place where you are in peace and tranquility to be able to receive divine messages as well. So, also proper diet is being highlighted here, dealing with Scorpio energy. How you eliminate colon and your bladder, two places where you eliminate waste. Making sure that you are feeding your body the proper nutrients in order to not just feed your body but feed your mind, but also feed your soul. So it's all connected. 369, your pyramid, what it represents. Pyramids can represent your masculine, your feminine energy, and how it connects to the divine. This is also mind, body, and spirit, but also your higher self, your lower self, and how you stay connected with them. That's two. So those are the representation of the three pyramids of yourself. Now, the whole light code here and how we broke down was 9/11. So we just got finished with the 9. So now we're going to step into the 2 keys, the ones, or that even breaks down to the 2. So dealing with ones, 1 is the entrance into the physical. That's also a representation of your ego. But even stepping into life path 11s and you guys being the master intuitives. In order for you to achieve that and excel at it to your ability, again, 11 being a master number, so you have the probability to master this, you have to be open in your left and your right side of your brains. You have to be in tune with your lower and your higher self. So those keys essentially represent doors that you need to open in your physical but also in your mind for you to achieve this. I was picking up on Aries energy here because we're dealing with the head. Aries rules the head. But I also heard the king and queen of keys. So not just Aries, but also Pisces. So Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, dealing with the head, and Pisces is the ending, dealing with your feet. So being in tune, allowing that energy to surge from your feet from the ground all the way up to your head to be able to connect to the higher realms, master intuitives. But also the ability to unlock things. So as if you have ones in your birth chart, which is numerology, or if you are a master number 11, you are already equipped with those keys to be able to unlock other people, other realities, other dimensions, unlock people's minds, of course within yourself, but using your skills to do it for others. You also have the ability of inspiring by nature. So you simply understanding your role and where it plays in this beautiful synchronicity of life and numbers and math and building in general. You're unlocking something by just by yourself, by you being you, understanding yourself, your frequency, understanding that sacred evolution. You're shifting and changing, period, because you are the keys, the king and the queens of the keys. So let's go a little further. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 is the feminine energy. So we're dealing with 1 and 2. You could also be seeing 1212, which is a call to light workers, essentially as an angel number, but as a light code, it's letting you know balancing in the masculine and the feminine energy, but knowing when to be in which as well. The 2 is your intuition, that feminine energy, but also tapping into your dark feminine energy as well, such as Lilith. And we have Kali Ma and a lot of other dark feminine energy deities that help you to understand and tap more into it. So if those 2 deities specifically, because I named them, have been calling out to you and you've been wanting to do more research, this is your confirmation to dig deep and connect with them and see what they have for you. Because you know, feminine energy it could build, but it can also destroy. So understanding your power within both is also important. But 2 is also a representation of balance and harmony and co-creating, which goes back to that creative and sensual energy here. So that is what I have for the light codes, what they're meaning, and how they are awakening certain things within your body. That way you can prepare for what is to come within your progress in your journey. So now let's get into the tarot. Also with the 1s and the 2s, you can be seeing 1212, but also 212 or 2121. So life path 3, 6, 9, and 11, spirit. 9, and 11. The Knight of Swords has shown itself twice to me. No, 3 times as a matter of fact. Spirit, what do you have for life path 3, 6, 9, and 11? High Priestess energy, that ability to be able to tap into the higher realms and receive that divine inspiration, that guidance, getting clear information on how to progress on your path, tapping into your feminine energy and knowing that she who rests creates, not being in the hustle and bustle of going and feeling as though you have to be on the move all the time in order for you to receive the things that you need in order to make your feminine energy feel worthy of deserving of receiving. Also, the Empress understands her position and her role, and so how if the Empress or that feminine energy is not balanced or happy, again, that feminine energy knowing too that, hey, I can destroy if something is not right within the kingdom. And I say that because the Empress is obviously connected to the Emperor, and the Empress and the Emperor are the ones that look over the king and the queens. And so, well, the Emperor is the one that looks over the king and the queens, and the Empress is the one who looks after the Emperor. So if the Empress is not okay, that means the Emperor and those king and queens are not okay. So you understand the position that the Empress plays in the whole scheme of things. So we're talking about chess here, playing the game, or understanding your position in the role, or your position within leadership as well. So you could view this in so many different ways. So far we have 33 and 66 here. So you could have that within your birth chart. Again, natal charts is astrology, birth chart is numerology, even though I kind of mixed both in there. I don't want to end on the Four of Pentacles, so I'm going to ask for one more. Is there one more here? Is there one more? Yeah. 2 more, actually. And I like ending on that one, as a matter of fact. So, we're going to go with it. Overall energy is the Ace of Wands, that awakening, that fire being relit within a dark space because of trauma, or because you were simply just programmed not to think or be a certain way, but you remembering or having an awakening to something positive, that's uplifting, that's going to help you progress on your path, not just for yourself, but being able to progress yourself, but then go back to those who may not have this information and go share it with them. Yes, being more grounded as well. There's that connection that I was saying with your lower selves, being grounded within this realm, within your body, and feeling safe and taken care of, but also having this connection to the higher realms and being able to receive that guidance down, because they can see over you, so they can drop things to you to help you to maneuver the things that may be blocking you in your path. I love it. Especially if you have been battling this 2 of Swords energy going back and forth and not having a balance in your left and right brain. I feel as though this whole message is basically letting you know that there is an upgrade coming for you. That way, things that you was once blinded to, you're going to be balanced. You're going to be standing 10 toes down, but also balanced in your mind to where you do feel safe and comfortable with making that forward movement. I also see too some truths were revealed about people, places, things, and situations with this eclipse that just passed. Your intuition was probably on 1000, especially if you had your menstrual cycle. You probably received a lot of intuitive insights. I'm going to tell you one of my dreams because it's been on me to tell you guys about the dream that I had. The dream, what I remember, was of baby ducks. I saw someone who had baby ducks, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to. In some kind of way, I found some baby ducks, and so I took care of them until they hatched. And when they began to hatch, they immediately went into this body of water. And they were playing, and I began to throw food into the water for the ducks. But when I did so, the calming water that it once was turned black, and you could tell that there was something else within the water that was kind of, lower vibrating. But one thing I noticed is that the ducks were not harmed, and they was able to eat their food in peace. So that is a message of a new beginning, a new cycle starting. Also fertility, new things being born, but also a representation of those darker things that lurk, that you can't see, very much moon energy. They don't have the power over you. You and your food, your fruits that you bear, whether that be actual fruit, gardening, or these ideas or talents that you give birth to, they are protected. And even though the waters may seem dark and they get rocky or what have you, there's still a possibility for you to receive everything that you need. I also see too, like, some of you have been manifesting, reconnecting to that creative side of your brain, reconnecting with your childlike self and having the ability to be able to play with the universe, meaning to understand the signs and the synchronicities that the universe may show you throughout your progress, throughout your path, and understanding what it's meaning and how to communicate back and have this open, honest, and vulnerable interaction within yourself, but also within how you connect to the outside world, how you connect your spirit back into the ethers, into your ancestors, how you connect to the ascended masters, and so on and so forth. So I see that some of you have been manifesting that as maybe since you was a kid. I'm getting with this Six of Pentacles here, Six of Cups energy here. I also see that too, you've had benevolent beings watching over you, watching how you grow, watching you tap into your manifesting abilities as the Queen of Wands. No gender is being highlighted here. The Queen of Wands or Wands energy is about knowing when to take quick action. When you receive through your feminine energy, again, receive that intuitive nudge. Receive something that can help you progress in the physical here. And then it comes in. This is a representation of it coming into you. And then you cultivating it. And then you giving birth to it and watching what comes about as a result. And then it being given back down to you, literally coming into your hands. Something too, you're being reawakened to something that you enjoyed when you was a child as well. A lot of times, us as spiritual teachers or readers, or just someone who has a lot of knowledge about spirituality in general, why we tell you to tap back into your inner child is because that's the real you. Before you went on your path and you were told that you couldn't do it, or you wasn't good enough, or you went through your trauma, or you received the programming that your family had adapted to, in order to survive. It's like you are erasing all of that and you are given this newness, kind of like a newborn baby. They are a sponge, and it's like it's reminding you to tap back into that energy of being a sponge, wanting to learn, wanting to connect, being open, and seeing all the possibilities that could come to you as a result of you just simply opening up to it, as a result of you connecting again to your inner child and doing things that essentially make your soul happy and not getting caught up in the hustle and bustle. There was this affirmation that's going around, or I'm not exactly sure if it went viral, but I respect it. And it is, I don't work for money, money works for me. And I say that because we understand that money is fiat, it's not even real. You just simply need it to maneuver this realm. And so, as a co-creator, you are giving dominion and power over everything, every living thing. And if you know that things have energy, being able to attune yourself and attract yourself to money doesn't require you to work as hard as we're programmed to think. It's simply about shifting your mindset and raising your vibration to meet abundance and prosperity. And then the doors will be open. And so I believe this is a representation of you being a magnet for the things that you are wanting to manifest. Use what you know about yourself, life path 3, 6, 9, and 11. Use what you know or what you may learn from this video about your specific number and how, excuse me, confirmation bird. Use what you know about how you show up on a vibrational level with your number to be able to bring about the things that you desire within your reality. The lifestyle that you desire to live is what's being highlighted here. Also, with that 9/11 and those 2 keys, being intentional with your words, because 111 was also highlighted. That breaks down to 3. Paying attention to your thoughts and making sure that they are aligning with the things that you want to draw to you. Planting seeds in the mind that can be watered and grown and bear fruits. Plentiful. So say for instance, I'm just going to give you an example. If you have a hard time shifting your mind frame from feeling like you have to work for money and not allowing it to work for you. I know you've been in a situation where money just magically pops up, which gives you an idea that you have the ability to do it again and again and again. You just have to simply break down why you feel like you can't do it again. And even if that thought process that came that blocked you from being able to do it, is that even yours? Is it something that you need to take off and put down because it's not even yours again? It's holding you back, holding you down, keeping you weighed down, not being able to tap into your light body and elevate so that you can align with certain frequencies, so you can step into the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is what this being brought up here. But like, I love the Hanged Man here because the cord is not connected. The only thing that's keeping you from being able to align with all of these rune symbols, which is for abundance, prosperity, manifestation. These are all rune symbols for that. And even this one here that's on her earring here, bloodline and generational things comes from this rune. And so being able to snip that cord that's connected to what would keep you mentally in poverty is what's being highlighted here. Keep you mentally in poverty. How can you let that go? How can you shift your mind? This is the Hanged Man is a representation of surrendering to the cosmos. But again, you know what that requires? You tapping into that two energy, being recessive, being feminine, not always moving, but being still, and then receiving that information and going forth with it. So I also see this too as you getting your fresh start to be able to plant seeds. A seed or an example of how you can change your mindset is simply saying the affirmation that I said earlier, which is, I don't work for money, money works for me. Mindset, doing everything with intention. The universe will grant you what you want if you are crazy enough to step and think outside of the box. You can manifest literally anything. They say the law of assumption, which I understand. If you assume that you are rich, you will be so. But do you see how they go hand in hand? Manifesting is what I believe to be what you had to do in order to shift your mind to be able to assume these things, so much so that your reality shifts. I just heard take your pick. So planting seeds that can bear fruits, that can grow, that can... Also, I just heard to create new concepts, create new processes in order to help others to shift their mindset. I also see greens here. Some of you need to incorporate more greens into your diet. That was random, but it came through, so I'm going to talk about it. Green is a cleansing. Think chlorophyll. It cleanses the blood. Greens, like collard greens, cabbage, green beans, kale, bok chow, all of those. Getting that into your system to be able to cleanse. Working with herbs as well is being highlighted. Growing your own herbs, having a connection with Mother Nature and the seasons, and being able to grow. And that's even stepping deeper into understanding the stars, meeting the people, me and you, being able to spot them and let them know when it is their season, when you need to go forth with your ideas, and when you actually need to take time to be introspective as well. There is something too that some of you have been holding very near and dear to your heart, that it's time for you to share. It's not only going to be lucrative, but it's also going to help and heal others. So the tradition, the cycle continues even after you're long gone. Your teachings and what you brought about as a result of your healing is still going to be here on earth. So leaving your mark. Ace of Pentacles, that pentacle, that seed that's able to grow roots. So a lot of opportunities for new beginnings here. Yeah, I split the deck and the Four of Wands is here. So something worth celebrating, a coming together as well, a decision being made, a cleansing of the blood, a restoration happening within your bloodline, a healing, an ascension. Also too, I've been picking up on a lot of ancestors who want to be reborn. And so I'm going to briefly go over what I've been getting.